everybody, welcome back. My name is Jennifer Squires and here we make, paint, create, sew and have fun. Okay, so today is the final video in the Autumn Witch project, so it's video number 4. So we're going to be doing the red dress kirtle part. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to remake this set of stays, and this set of stays is front and back lacing, but I've made this set of stays before and made it only front lacing. So these are my front lacing stays. I'm going to remake this exactly the same way, except I'm going to drop down the armholes a little bit because this came up into my armpits just a bit too much. I'm going to drop the arm's eye down, and I'm going to remove all of the tabs. So I'm going to, these parts here, I will just fold that part of the pattern back and I will round off. I won't cut tabs here, I'll round this part off here and I'll round this back part out as well, and that will be our dress part. I'll also shorten this a little bit and stitch it onto here so it just becomes one piece. So the only moving part will be the lacing at the front. So that is that, and the reason this video is this week and not last week is because I was waiting for a particular book, which was this book, which I got with my birthday money. And there is a section in here about how they attach the bodice to the skirt part of a kirtle, because I couldn't rack my mind around how I was going to attach the skirt part to the stays. So I'm going to loosely follow this. So I'm going to loosely follow that portion in the book of how they're going to attach everything. Now I'm going to go through the materials that I have. I haven't actually spent too much money on this, mostly op shop and dollar store items. So from the dollar shop or the $2 shop, or it's called At 2 here, I have shoelaces. I may or may not use it for bone casing. I have this cotton crochet thread which I'm going to use for the eyelets. I found this red thread in my stash. Got some cotton tape. I bought 2 of these and I tried to dye it to match my fabric, which I bought from the Salvation Army, but it didn't work out too well, but it's in the same colour family, so it'll do. And I have this for my lining, and I have zip ties already, but they're way in the nether regions of my wardrobe, so I'm not going to dig those out right now. I'll dig them out later. So the next step I think for us to do is to get the pattern out and start adjusting, pinning and cutting. And here is a quick overview of all my bodice pieces pinned together. Okay, so I have all of my bodice pieces stitched together. I'm just going to give the seams a hecking good pressing, and then later on this evening I'm just going to mark out all of my boning channels and stitch them in later. Okay, so it's been a few days. It's now school holiday, so things have got a bit chaotic, but this is where I'm at. So what I've done is I've stitched all of my boning channels. I've pressed my edges and I've put bias binding on along all the top edges and arm's eyes. Next thing I'm going to do is to put all of the boning in and then stitch across this line so that I can secure it in place. Then I'm going to tack down the seams similar to this one here where I have done this. So that's what I'm doing next. Oh, and I'm also going to do eyelets with this, and then we will move on to the skirt. Oh, another thing, I finally found little autumnal leaves, so I've stuck some onto the staff and into the hat as well. Okay, quick editing Jennifer popping in here saying I'm also using this video to be part of the Halloween scrap heap challenge done by Ash LZ, and I'll link their channel below, to make a Halloween costume out of recycled materials. I bought everything here from an op shop or thrift store or charity shop depending on where you hail from. The rules are you are allowed to get new thread and new tape, and those are the only new things that I bought for this. So I'm using this as an entry too. Okay, back to the video. Okay, so I'm going to try and remedy this by doing something I did a couple of years ago as an experiment, but if it doesn't work, you know, we have this as a backup. So I have another packet. What I did last time was I had a natural fibre, so cotton's a natural fibre, wet it so it accepts dye better. So I'm going to warm it in warm water, then I'm going to put in a dish with some white vinegar and some red food colouring, and then I'm going to microwave it until all of the colour sucks up into that's food colouring. Okay, so I added about a 1/4 teaspoon of blue food colouring, and I think we're pretty close to a winner compared to the first attempt of using alcohol markers and acrylic paint. Turns out it rinses right out, so we're going to put it back in the hot vinegar mix, and we're going to let it sit there and let it cool in there overnight. Alright, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to unwind this and chuck it in with the other forbidden noodle and leave that to cool in there with the other tape overnight and see what happens. Alright, so everything is out of the vinegar dye bath and is dry. This is the one that we've chucked in the vinegar dye bath first, dried. This is pressed. This is the one that we had already previously dyed and looked terrible, but then we chucked it in at the end just to see what would happen, and it's over dyed quite nicely, so I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so I have the eyelets done, and I've pinned in the fabric that I'm going to use for the skirt, and I've done it at the back, middle and the side, and then I'm going to pop it on and lace it up and to figure out how this front closure is going to work. And I've also made aglets with the ends of the lacing by winding some thread around it and then putting a couple of dots of super glue on it. So that's that. So let's pop you into a time lapse and figure out how we're going to do this front closure. Okay, so all of these bits here are going to get gathered in. I'm glad I removed the tabs all the way around because it's going to dig in, but then everything else is going to get gathered into the waistband, and then we'll leave probably about this much of a slit open at the front so that we can get in and out of it. But now I'm going to go and stitch this on. I really like the way that this is fitting so far. Yeah, alright. Okay, here it is, all stitched together. I've finished the base dress. Now I get to decorate it with the other autumn leaves that I have and the little bats and spiders, and I will see you in the reveal. Here we are. Ta-da! This is my Autumn Witch Halloween/Armageddon costume. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. I love sewing and I love making these. This will probably work its way into my everyday wardrobe, just like most of the things I make, and just become a normal everyday piece for me. Right here, I'm going to put up what the guts of the inside of the dress looks like, because I really enjoy when other people show us, you know, the guts and the internals of a dress that is they've made. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to, thumbs down. If you don't like it, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things that make our algorithm overlords happy. And I'll see you next Sunday with another spooky Halloween video. We're going to add some more pages into the Book of Shadows. See you next Sunday. Bye.